This is a sales geek academia to business translation production. Okay, so AI. It's everywhere, right? Every sales leader, I think, is grappling with the buzz, the potential. You see it creeping into almost every part of the business.
Absolutely. It's hard to ignore.
And for sales training, well, AI coaching seems like the perfect solution, almost a no-brainer. Think about the efficiency, the scale. It sounds amazing.
It does sound compelling on the surface.
But, what if it's not quite the silver bullet we think it is? What if this obvious solution has some hidden catches? Maybe it doesn't work the same for everyone on your team. Could it even maybe hold back the very people who need the most coaching?
That's exactly the kind of question we need to be asking.
Right. So this deep dive, it's all about taking some really cutting-edge academic research and translating it into, well, practical stuff you can actually use. Actionable insights for you, the sales leader.
We want you to navigate this AI landscape with, let's say, your eyes wide open.
Yeah, exactly. Our mission today, we're digging into this paper. It's called Artificial Intelligence Coaches for Sales Agents. Caveats and Solutions. It was just published in the Journal of Marketing. We're pulling out the key nuggets, the really important bits for you.
Yeah, and we'll show you how to apply them. You're likely going to hear some pretty surprising things about how different salespeople react to AI coaching.
And crucially, how you can design strategies using AI that actually lift performance for your whole team. We're going to cut through the academic jargon and get to what really matters for your sales force.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first things first. When we say AI coach, what are we actually talking about based on this research?
Well, think of it as sophisticated software. It uses things like deep learning algorithms and cognitive speech analytics.
Meaning it listens to sales calls.
Exactly. It listens, it analyzes the conversation, and then it provides feedback. Structured feedback meant for training, for improvement.
And the advantages people see are, well, pretty obvious, right? Massive computing power. You can scale it up easily across a huge team.
And the cost savings. That's a big one.
Yeah, the paper mentions it costs something like, what, US $4,410 a month to maintain an AI coach.
Right, compared to a human manager, which they estimate is maybe US $2,100 to US $2,820 per month once you factor in benefits and everything.
That's a pretty significant difference. And we see companies using this stuff already, like MetLife has Cogito, Zoom uses Chorus.
Lots of examples out there.
So yeah, on paper, it looks like a slam dunk. Like, why wouldn't you use an AI coach?
It absolutely seems that way. And look, those benefits, the hard data skills of AI, they're real. Its ability to process tons of speech data, pinpoint specific errors, offer tons of solutions. A human just can't match that scale or detail.
Okay. I sense a but coming.
Well, yeah. This is where the research asks the critical question. Are there, caveats? Is there a downside to all this efficiency?
And the answer is?
The answer points straight at what human managers bring to the table, their soft skills. Things like empathy, encouragement, being adaptable in how they give feedback.
Just acknowledging the person they're talking to.
Precisely. Skills that AI, frankly, just doesn't have. It can tell you what you did wrong and how the data says you should fix it, but it can't deliver that message with a human touch.
And that soft touch, it turns out, is actually pretty important.
It really matters, especially for learning, for motivation.
That's a really key difference. It's not just the info, but how it lands. So how did they test this first experiment? Tell me about that.
Okay, experiment 1. They worked with a fintech company, 429 sales agents. They split them up. Some got an AI coach, others got their regular human manager coach.
And they looked at different performance levels.
Yeah, that was crucial. They categorized the agents beforehand. Bottom ranked, middle ranked, and top ranked based on past performance. The idea was to see the extra impact AI had, the incremental benefit for each group.
Okay, moment of truth. What did they find? Did the AI blow the human coaches out of the water?
Well, this is where it gets really fascinating and, frankly, counterintuitive. The core finding, the extra benefit from the AI coach, it wasn't a straight line.
Not like the more AI, the better the results for everyone.
Nope, it was actually an inverted U shape.
An inverted U. Okay, unpack that. What does that mean in practice?
It means the AI wasn't equally effective for all groups. Let's break it down. Your middle-ranked agents, They actually showed the biggest jump in performance with the AI coach.
Interesting. Why them specifically?
They seem to be in this kind of sweet spot. They've got enough experience to understand the data-driven feedback to see how to use it.
But they're not so set in their ways.
Exactly. They're not so skilled or maybe protective of their own methods that they resist the AI's suggestions. They're receptive, they want to improve, and the AI gives them concrete stuff to work on.
Okay, so middle performers benefit most. What about the others, the bottom-ranked agents?
Here's the surprise. They showed really limited gains, very little improvement from the AI coach compared to the human.
Why? You'd think they have the most room to grow, they'd benefit the most from detailed feedback?
You would think so. But the reason was something the researchers called severe information overload.
Information overload.
Yeah, think about it. The AI, being a computer, identifies everything, every little mistake, every possible solution based on its algorithms. For someone maybe already struggling.
It's just too much, like drinking from a fire hose.
Precisely. It's overwhelming. They couldn't process it all, couldn't figure out what to focus on. So instead of helping, all that comprehensive feedback actually sort of, well, paralyzed them, hindered their learning.
Wow. Okay, so the AI's strength, its thoroughness, became a weakness for that group.
Right. And then you have the top-ranked agents.
Let me guess. They loved it.
Actually, no. They showed the least improvement. Almost none.
Really? Why was that? Not information overload, surely.
No, their issue was different. It was a strong aversion to the AI coach.
Aversion. Like they just didn't like being coached by a machine.
Pretty much. Think about your star player. They have their own best practices. They trust their gut. They've got results to back it up.
And they probably value autonomy.
Exactly. They tend to trust advice from experienced humans more. They see the AI as maybe cold, unempathetic, perhaps even questioning their expertise. They want that human connection, that tailored guidance, which the AI alone just couldn't give them.
Okay, so this inverted U thing is huge. It completely flips the script on just plugging in AI and expecting miracles across the board.
It really does.
That strength of AI, the comprehensive data, it backfires if it's not tailored. More info isn't always better. Human psychology matters, big time.
Absolutely. How we feel about the feedback source impacts how we receive it.
So this creates a real challenge, doesn't it? The bottom-ranked agents, the ones who arguably need the most help, are the ones hindered by standard AI coaching because of this information overload.
It's a major problem.
We can't just leave it there. So what's the solution? What do the research suggest for helping those agents who are getting overwhelmed?
This leads us straight into experiment 2. The researchers saw this information overload issue and specifically designed a potential fix.
Okay, what do they try?
They tried restricting the AI coach's feedback.
Restricting it? How?
Instead of the AI dumping every identified mistake and all possible solutions on the agent, they redesigned it. The restricted AI only offered the most impactful feedback.
Like maybe the top 1 or 2 things to focus on?
Exactly, like just the top-ranked solution for each key mistake identified. The idea was to keep the quality high, keep it relevant, but make it digestible, actionable, not overwhelming.
Okay, that makes intuitive sense. Cut down the noise, focus on the signal. Did it work?
It worked incredibly well. The results were really compelling.
Tell me more.
Those bottom-ranked agents who got the restricted AI feedback, they saw a substantial improvement in their performance.
How substantial?
The paper says their average purchase rate went up by about 4.6 percentage points. Now, for that specific group, that translated to roughly a 50% jump in performance.
50%. Just by giving them less feedback, but more focused feedback.
Essentially, yes. More focused, less overwhelming feedback. For sales leaders listening, that's massive. It shows you can use AI effectively for this group, but you have to be smart about how.
It's not about just deploying the tech, it's about designing the interaction with the tech.
That's the key takeaway. It's about thoughtful AI design. Making the AI smarter, not just in its analysis, but in its delivery, to actually help human learning.
Reducing that friction, like you said, helping unlock potential instead of burying them in data.
Exactly right.
Okay, so we've got a potential fix for the bottom-ranked agents' restricted AI feedback, huge step. But what about the other end, the top-ranked agents who didn't like the AI? And how do we maybe lift everyone?
Right, because the restricted feedback helped the bottom group, but didn't really solve the aversion problem for the top performers.
It feels like we need a way to combine the AI's analytical power with, well, those human soft skills we talked about earlier.
You're thinking along exactly the right lines, and that's precisely what Experiment 3 tested. It looked at collaboration.
Collaboration between AI and humans.
Yes, specifically a hybrid human-AI coaching model, or as the paper calls it, an AI-human coach assemblage.
Okay, how did that work in practice?
So the AI still did its thing, listened to calls, analyzed everything, generated all that detailed data-driven feedback, identifying patterns a human might miss.
But it didn't deliver the feedback directly.
Correct. Instead of the AI sending a report or updating a dashboard that the agent sees directly, the human managers communicated that feedback
Ah, so the manager gets the AI insights.
and then delivers them to the agent, often in, one-on-one meetings, face-to-face, ideally. They could use their empathy, their understanding of that specific agent, their encouragement,
They act as a sort of translator.
and a motivator.
Exactly. An intelligent filter and a human interface for the AI's findings, adding that crucial soft touch.
Okay, that sounds potentially really powerful. You get the AI's number-crunching smarts and the manager's people skills. Best of both worlds.
That was the hypothesis.
And the results. Did this hybrid model work? It absolutely did. The results were, well, pretty much unequivocally positive. This hybrid human-AI model outperformed both the AI coach alone and the human coach alone.
Outperformed both. For which agents?
For both the bottom-ranked and the top-ranked agents.
Wow, okay, so it helped everyone.
It helped everyone significantly.
Right.
Now, the bottom-ranked agents still saw a bigger percentage improvement. They just had more ground to gain, right?
Makes sense.
But both groups saw really meaningful benefits compared to just having an AI coach or just having a human coach.
How did it overcome the previous issues?
Well, for the bottom-ranked agents, having the human manager deliver the feedback seemed to solve the information overload. The manager could filter, prioritize, explain things in a way the agent understood.
Okay, that deals with the overload.
And for the top-ranked agents, having the feedback come from their trusted human manager dramatically reduced that aversion to the AI. It made the insights more palatable, more credible, because it was mediated by a human they respected.
That is fascinating. It really drives home that idea that AI shouldn't necessarily replace humans, but augment them.
Complement them, exactly. It creates this synergy where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. AI handles the data-heavy lifting. Humans handle the nuanced communication and motivation.
You optimize the whole coaching process. And this sounds like it benefits everyone involved. The paper called it a 3-win scenario, didn't it? Can you break that down?
Sure, it really does create wins across the board.
So, win number 1.
Win number 1 is for your sales agents. They get better feedback, tailored, digestible, delivered with empathy. They learn more effectively. They feel more supported.
Which means better performance.
Right. Better performance, higher commissions, more income. They're likely more engaged, more skilled, probably happier in their role.
Okay, win 1, better agents. Win number 2.
Win number 2 is for your sales managers. Think about all the time they might spend manually reviewing calls, trying to spot mistakes. It's tedious.
And probably less accurate than an AI could be at scale.
Definitely less scalable and potentially less consistent. So the AI takes over that heavy analytical work. This frees up your managers.
Frees them up for what?
For the stuff only humans can do well. More strategic thinking, complex problem solving, team building, mentoring, providing that personalized, empathetic support. They become true coaches, not just call reviewers.
Shifting them to higher value activities? Makes sense. And the third win?
The third win, maybe the most obvious one, is for the company.
The bottom line.
Exactly. Better trained agents, more effective managers focusing on high-impact tasks. It leads directly to higher sales revenues, better customer interactions, overall business growth. It's efficient, it's scalable, and it's human-centered.
A really powerful combination. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. From realizing AI coaching isn't one-size-fits-all with that inverted U finding.
Right, to seeing how restricted feedback can massively help bottom-ranked agents.
And finally, landing on this powerful hybrid model where AI insights are delivered by human managers. It feels like we've moved beyond the simple hype to find a genuinely effective path forward.
I think so, and it provides some very clear actions for leaders.
Absolutely. So let's boil it down. For you, the sales leader listening right now, what are the key actionable takeaways from all this?
Okay, 3 main things to implement based directly on this research. First, tailor your AI coaching. Please, don't just roll out a standard AI coach and expect uniform results. Recognize it's not one size fits all, especially for your bottom-ranked agents. Remember that less comprehensive feedback, that restricted approach can be way more effective.
Reducing that information overload is key for them. Remember that 50% performance jump? That's huge.
Huge opportunity. So tailor the AI's output. Second takeaway, view AI as a complement, not a substitute. This research strongly argues against seeing this as an either choice between AI and human coaches.
They have different strengths.
Exactly. AI crushes the hard data analysis, the pattern recognition, the scale. Humans bring the irreplaceable soft skills, empathy, trust building, adaptation. Think of the AI as a powerful assistant for your managers, making them better.
Augmentation, not replacement.
Precisely. And third, flowing from that, implement the hybrid human-AI coaching model. Honestly, the research suggests this is the most effective path overall.
The AI does the analysis, the human does the delivery.
Yes. AI generates the precise, data-driven insights. Human managers deliver, interpret, and personalize that feedback using their interpersonal skills. This tackles both information overload and AI aversion. It leads to that three-win scenario we talked about, good for agents, managers, and the company.
Better learning, higher income for agents, managers freed up for strategic work, higher sales for the company.
It really seems to be the optimal approach based on this evidence.
Fantastic summary. It really shifts the perspective. Which leads me to a final thought for everyone listening. What new possibilities open up when we really start thinking about technology, not just as a way to replace tasks, but as a way to enhance our most human skills? How could you apply this kind of collaborative intelligence AI plus human insight in other parts of your business? Maybe customer service, product development, even internal communications, something to think about. This has been a Sales Geek Academia to Business Translation production.